So the guys that made Ascension, or half of them, made Star Realms, and essentially, it's a way to make one of these games that is more interactive and essentially more aggressive. So it's your turn. So if you go ahead and click, are you in the game right now?
Yeah.
Okay. So you'll see there's a middle pile of 6 cards, just like in Ascension. There's a
Okay.
cost. I actually can't see. I can't see the game until you make your first turn. So there's a cost. Is it in the upper left? I can't remember.
There is it the number in the yellow circle?
Yes. Okay. So that's how much money it cost, and they do things. We each have a starting deck of 8 scouts, which generate 1 money, and 2 vipers, which generate 1 attack.
Okay.
And you can see our 2 bases each have 50. Start at 50 lives. Authority, its card instead of lives for some reason. Okay, so typically in this game, it's you pretty much can play your whole hand, and the order doesn't much matter, especially at the beginning of the game. Later in the game, the order does start to matter that you play your cards, but you can just hit play all now. Your cards will play out. You can always buy a explorer. Is that what it's called? The card off to the left, and
Yep.
for $2 you get 2 combat. No, two.
Two money, and it looks like if you trash it, you get 2 combat.
But okay, so it costs 2 to buy. Then when you play it later on, you get 2 money out of it,
Yes.
and optionally then you can trash it, which means it's gone. Actually, it goes back to the pile to get attack. So go ahead and okay. Now I can tell you about the 4 colors. So there's 4 factions. Each faction has things that they're good at. So generally, red's main ability is to trash things from your deck. So it's the main way to get rid of the garbage opening cards. Blue has life gain. So if you see the little picture that looks like a green sort of home base with wings, that's you gaining authority when you play the card.
All right. I don't think I've seen one of those yet.
Yellow does a lot of discarding, makes the opponent discard some other things, and then green is more like the swarm. Green has a lot of attack. These kind of things. So at the beginning of the game, a lot of this game is you can only buy obviously what's on the board. So figuring out kind of what you want to do. There's ways to make engines that do things. Oh, I forgot to tell you about bases. So most of the cards are ships. They're straight up and down. Some cards are on their side. They're bases. Bases stay on the table. So it's like, I forget what they're called from Ascension, the artifacts. They stay on the table. They can be destroyed. That's what the number in the lower right of the card is. That's how much damage it takes to destroy them. It has to all be done in one turn. Damage is not saved. So you would have to be able to destroy the entire base in one turn. And there's 2 kinds of bases. Some say outpost, and it's a kind of a hollowed out damage symbol, and the other ones just have a gray damage symbol. The significance of the outpost is you must destroy an outpost before you can attack anything else, in particular the opponent's main base. So it's kind of a damage shield, if that makes sense. Okay, all that being said, by not you can't have very much because you only start with 3 cards. So you either have $3 or $2 and a damage. What do you got?
I had 2 and a damage, and I just clicked on 2 cards.
Okay. Okay. Good. And then say done, so I can actually see the game. Hey, okay.
I have unspent combat. Continue.
Oh, you always want. All right. So you double click my base, and that deals the damage.
Okay.
So I'm at 49 now. Okay. I see the game now. So you can always click. There's not very much hidden information. Really, only what's in your hand. You can click someone's deck, and you get to see all the cards that are in it. Obviously, not in the order, but you do get to see everything they've bought.
Okay.
So I got the $5 hand. I like the Mech World there because it's a 6-point outpost is good, and also its ability is it counts for all factions. So I'm going to buy this and then explain that. And then you can take your turn. So if you look in the middle, there's a lot of symbols on the cards. We already talked about the trash can symbol. For the explorers, when you trash it, it goes back to the explorer pile. For the other cards, when you trash it, it's completely out of the game. It's just gone. So if you look at the dreadnought there, the yellow card. So when you play it, you get the 7 attack and you get to draw the card right away. Optionally, you can trash it to get 5 more attack. So that's such a great card that you would probably only want to do that if it's a coup de grace, or maybe it gets you up to the point that you can take out a base or something like that you couldn't without trashing it. The other symbols to watch out for are the ones that match the faction on the card. So if you look at the Federation shuttle, when you play it, you get $2. And then next to it, it has the blue faction symbol and then gain 4 life.
Right.
You only get that if you have played another blue card that turn. Okay. But it's retroactive. So if you play this card first, then you play another blue card that has a blue faction, they each work for each other, and they happen. So the order doesn't actually matter that much in that case.
Okay, so to not use that one as an example, but rather look at the missile bot, that means that if you played another red card on your turn, then you get +2.
You get 2 more damage, right?
Got it.
Yeah, and again, there's not that many cards where the order of play matters, but when one comes out, I'll bring it up.
Okay.
So strategy wise, so this is where you're building a deck here, and you want your faction abilities on your cards to fire as often as possible. So that means you don't want to have too many colors in your deck. The worst thing is when you get a 5-card hand and you have a red, a yellow, and a blue, and it's like, you'd rather have red, 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 or blue, blue, blue. Okay. So you have a lot of control over that about what you buy.
Okay. Although I did not know that on the first turn when I was buying cards.
It's okay because the first turn is you want to have cards that aren't crappy.